Alright, we'll quickly move on to the evaluation session, which is the final session in this Toastmasters meeting. And to start that, we call back Toastmaster Joe on stage.
Hello Toastmasters, Noah's on, yes. We'll come to the evaluation section. So in the evaluation section, speakers will come and evaluate people who spoke in the prepared speech section. So first up, to evaluate Naveen, we have Priya.
I have nothing to complain today because I have witnessed one of the best CC2 speeches ever done. So good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and to my target speaker, Medley. So I would like to say what I liked the best about your speech in not 6 points but 3 points. N for Naveen, and the points are what I like is natural, networking and the new outlook. I call you a natural speaker because first thing, I get connected to a speaker when he takes up a story and I see if he believes in the story. If the belief is there, the expression and the feelings are also right. And when you started the story, I really got connected to it. That's why I call you a natural speaker. Not just that, being a CC2 speaker, the way he looked around the crowd and the eye contact he made was really commendable. It's not an easy thing to do on the CC2 speech especially. Second is networking. The main objective of CC2 is you have a good start, body and a conclusion. You started with a question which really took our attention. Coming to the body, you had lined up inspiring stories of Usain Bolt, Marie Curie and Tangavili. So the best part of that is it was a true inspiring stories which we all knew, and yes, it was, the transition also went on very smoothly. That's where you usually have to catch up, if you had any flaws during the transition. Because it was a story and that's the best way to bring the transition. So anecdotes, examples and stories and your inspirational stories really had a smooth flow. The next I call here is new outlook. How many of us have not heard do not complain theme? It's a universal theme, but the way you approach, the way you got that story, it was really very new for me, I should say. Especially the conclusion part. Again, a bang on practical example. That's what I say, natural and belief. You said there should be a belief, then there is a belief. Because you said if you are thinking you have complaints in your life, go to a child trust which is in Hingampakam, look at the kids and then you will start complaining. Now comes the real complaint part. It's not complaining, we have high expectations from you. The areas of improvement that we call. One is the stage. Yes, it was nice to see you moved around, but to a certain point when you cross, we are not able to see you and catch up what you're trying, your expression and the other things. That happened to me. Sitting there, I was not able to see your face when you cross certain line. Second is when you're talking about a person, a story, don't forget to mention the name. You told a Nobel physicist and a chemist person. I knew it was Marie Curie, but it didn't come out as a Marie Curie person. That name, awards, dates are very significant to us. So please make that as a point. As I said, we have high expectations, so we would like to see all these changes. Once again, I'm not here to complain, but to compliment you for giving one of the best CC2 speech. We look forward for all your future speeches. Thank you.
And next up to evaluate Santosh, we have Anish.
There's this very famous quote I heard. There's something peculiar about pain. It demands to be felt. But today we had another speaker who gave a very new outlook, and he said, pain demands to be felt, but there is some amount of pleasure that comes after that. That was one bang on impact. So Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmasters, guest, and Santosh. Now looking at your CC5 speech, this is what I have lined up, and these are my insights into how well you have fared and what are the little things that you can improve on. The first thing is, Toastmaster Santosh, the use of open palm gestures. Throughout the speech, I saw you using this open palm gesture. In fact, it is a very powerful tool which is scientifically proven that it has a comforting feel when the audience talk. So this stance that you had used throughout your speech had its power when you made the powerful points throughout the speech. A great job done on that. second is the gestures that he used when he tried to describe what is going on. Now, until the CC4, Toastmaster Santosh, what is expected is, if I close my eyes, if I follow your speech, I can understand everything word by word. But CC5 is where you challenge yourself and see, if I do that word, whatever I describe with words, if I was able to use some actions and make people understand that, it's more better. And you brought your characters to life, your own personal story about how you're trying to march past, and how the seniors were trying to push you, and how the juniors, you were a junior. All of that, with your description action, was done very well. A check on that. And third thing, obviously, he's come to a CC5. He's just one step away from contesting in the IAC match. So at this case, obviously, all your previous CCs, you should have learned all those basic skills. Today, I heard a story with a message and enough wordplay like iron shirt that turned into khaki, toes that turned into stone. I've been awake since 6 and traveling around the city, hanging out. I could literally empathize to that. So, looking at all of this, Santosh, what I would recommend upon, if we have to consider, to fine-tune your gestures, is number one, enacting characters. I saw you do this. Now, this is the right way to do it, Santosh. One person facing this way, and the other person facing this way. But however, you are fidgeting a little bit in between rather than taking a firm stance. This character is here. This character is right here. I would recommend you take a firm stance so that people know and people can picturize that this person is here and this person is here. And the second thing is about clasping hands. And this is where I would say, Toastmaster Santosh, I noticed throughout your speech that you were trying to do this. Although you were able to cover the stage, although you had everything else set, this was something that was repetitive. This is something you can avoid on. But putting all that aside, I can tell you, you had an amazing facial expression and excellent eye contact with everybody. So to summarize my evaluation, you had amazing open palm gestures, descriptive actions here and there that worked very well. If you could just work out on enacting your characters better and work a little bit more on keeping your hands clasped together, you can be much better than what you were today, Santosh. So all the best for your future speeches and over to you.